Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. Good morning from me to you guys. I don't know what time you're watching this, but it is roughly 9:30 in the morning for me. Today's another car delivery day. Although today's car isn't super exciting, but it's another car that I will hopefully make money on. I purchased this Honda Accord. I believe it's a 2004 Honda Accord. And this is pretty much the first time I'm seeing it. It looks like we have a bore leg exhaust. Yep, bore leg exhaust. Some damage to the rear bumper. Windows cracked. I'm curious why. So it's 04, 128,000 miles. So for a Honda, that's actually not bad at all. Let's see if this thing will start. Oh, the door's kind of whack. So I will need a detail. What's going on with the seatbelt? Okay, so that retracts. It will actually need a jump, so we will find out if we, well, maybe need a new battery. Oh, and these things don't hold. Okay, I'll need two hands. Let me get this kind of set up. You know what this looks to me, guys? Like somebody tried to break into this thing to unlock it and just kind of damaged the weather strip in this plastic right here. But anyways, I didn't pay a lot of money for it. I'll have to check how much, but let's see if it'll start and how well it runs. We're almost out of fuel. So we clearly don't have any lights, but that doesn't mean nothing is gonna come up because the battery's dead. And this window works, so it's just kind of left crack opened. This one also works. I'm actually gonna roll it down a little bit. Let's see. There we go. Let's see if that door opens. I checked off video, it is wired for subs. The exhaust actually is not very loud, which is a good sign. So there we go. This car will definitely need a detail though. So let me get this jump box off, and then I think we could take it down the street. I mean, motor sounds very healthy. I don't hear any ticking, no knocking. Sounds pretty good. Looks like an aftermarket alternator. What else we got here? Air intake. Yeah, this battery is expired by what? A year and a half roughly. So I think it's definitely time for a new one. Sweet, I even have heated seats. So I should have enough gas just to kind of go down the street. Nothing crazy, but I want to feel the transmission, make sure everything is working as expected. Ooh, brakes are super sensitive, which is a good sign. I'm not gonna push it just yet. There's our second, third gear. You know what this sounds like? So G35s have a bore leg exhaust from the factory. This is kind of what it sounds like, because it does have the Borla mufflers, and with the 6-cylinder it definitely sounds like an Infiniti. I like it. It's not overpowering, it's not obnoxious. I don't know if you guys will even hear that, but I really like it. It's toned, but you could still hear it. Anyways, I think the car runs well. It went through 4 gears, I think. So I'm gonna park it here. I'll need to go get some gas. But before that, I'm actually going to order a new battery and I think an oil filter for it, because I checked and the oil is a little bit dirty. So I'll put a brand new battery in it, do the oil change on it, and then this car will go through a detail. I'll drive it enough to where it passes DQ, and we're gonna sell this one. I'm not gonna fix any outside body dings or imperfections. I mean, mileage is pretty darn low. This thing will have a buyer. 128,000 miles for a 2004 is gonna be a really easy sell, especially for a Honda that sounds super healthy. And I'll give you guys an update on a few of the cars from the previous videos. So this Jeep, if you guys remember, had a rough idle. It would jump up and down. I just replaced 2 sensors back here. Idle air control valve and some other sensor. If you guys are interested in that, you could find the video on my YouTube channel. But as you can hear it runs perfectly fine now. There's no idle issues. So I'm gonna order a new battery for this one, new battery for the Honda Accord. This one was actually a slight disappointment. My wife and I daily drove, we would put probably 250, maybe 300 miles on it, and the check engine light came on. And the code was basically like a misfire for cylinder 6, but it's a MDS code. So Chrysler, Dodge, for these motors, they have a cylinder deactivation system where if you're cruising at highway speeds, it deactivates the cylinders, half of them, so it goes to a 4-cylinder. Which honestly is a dumb system in my opinion, because it's a big SUV. There's no way this thing is gonna run on 4 cylinders pretty much ever. And I feel like this system is, if you don't use it, you lose it. And like realistically, I mean, it's a big, heavy SUV. When in daily driving, is it going to use only 4 cylinders? I think never. So I think when my wife was driving it, she did trigger the cylinder cutoff by whatever measurement the onboard computer has, and it didn't work. So it threw a check engine code. So I have 4 brand new MDS solenoids, new intake gaskets, because it's all underneath. Is basically the engine is positioned as a V, and it's, you know, kind of at the center top portion. There's 4 of those MDS solenoids. So I think this car is gonna go to my mechanic, and I'm gonna pick up my GL350 that he has. He's replacing an alternator for me, and then the Chrysler should be ready to go. Although, I mean, it runs perfectly fine aside from that transmission and whatnot, but I can't sell it with a check engine code. It probably won't pass emissions, unfortunately. So that's the update on that. This one, I don't know if I told you guys, the BMW, it needs a new starter. So the starter came in 2 days ago. That's gonna go to my mechanic. He will replace that, and then we'll kind of go from there. Aside from that, I think you guys are up to date. So what I'm gonna do now is actually go order batteries, do what I need to do in that regard, and then we'll see where the video takes us. Need to adapt and adjust my date today. I was actually gonna go to the bank to deposit a check and then get another one out for another car that was purchased but already sold. But I've been working with a gentleman on selling him this Porsche, and he said he'll be here in about an hour and a half with a cashier's check to pick up the vehicle. So hopefully today in this video you guys are gonna say goodbye to the Porsche with me. I didn't have it for too long. I've done 415 miles on it. Really good, fun, very enjoyable miles. But right now I'm going to the car wash, take it through, because it's been raining on and off, but right now it's dry, and I want the car to be presentable so that it looks the best it could. And I'll tell you guys something, from all the fun cars I've had, all the fun cars I've driven on the road, I mean, the list is pretty lengthy. This car has the most attention, the most looks. I mean, I constantly catch people looking at this thing, and I don't know if it's a Porsche thing or the fact that it has like a deep burgundy color and it just stands out. But like, I've taken it out on sunny days. It almost seems like every other person is looking at this thing. I mean, people on motorcycles, people in cars, people on sidewalks, everyone turns around and looks. So now the new owner is going to enjoy this attention, and I will see what I get to replace this. This is probably the last wash and probably the last drive for me. Let's do a pull. Rocket ship, I tell you guys. You guys don't even understand how well these things are engineered, and I can't even describe it. Like, just wild car. Love this thing.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Guys, Porsche no more. Porsche has been just sold. Now I'm locking up and taking this thing to the bank and run a few errands. I am taking the Accord, and I just realized, I remembered that we are low on gas, so hopefully I make it to the gas station with no issues. I'll tell you what guys, really weird jumping into an Accord from a Porsche 911. Man, that really is a special car. You know, you hear people saying that Porsche, and it's this and it's that, and they're so great. I never understood it until I actually spent some time in it, and I mean more than 2-3 miles, actually more or less living with the car for the last week or so. I did 400 miles on that car. Oh, it's a special car. It's a special car. I will, when I retire, if I ever retire, but I would definitely love to have one in my garage as a fun car. Not a daily, but something fun. A 911, I think, will always have space in my garage. Well guys, I've done a little over 10 miles in the Honda Accord. It runs really good. Absolutely no drone from the exhaust. I mean, it's comfortable, it's leather, it got heated seats, they work. It pulls to the left, noticeably pulls to the left. So I'll need to get an alignment done and then take it through detail, and yeah, I'll continue driving as much as I can so that it passes DEQ. Once a car passes DEQ, that's when I know more or less no mechanical issues. I can sell it with a clear conscience and move on to the next car. So I'm gonna be looking for something else. You guys have any suggestions? A fun car around 50K is what I'm looking for. I don't think I wanna go into something more expensive. I'm not ready for it, and I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. So yeah, if you guys have suggestions, fun cars, let me know. I didn't know how I was going to finish this Accord video, but I figured I haven't really shared numbers with you guys in a while. So in this video, before we end it, I'm gonna share numbers with you guys. I bought this Honda Accord out of Seattle. After fees, I paid right under $2,300. I paid $150 in shipping. I bought new hood struts because those weren't holding. I did purchase a new battery for it, which was $61 at my cost. I did take the car through an alignment because it did pull to one side a little bit. And I did get the car detailed. So all in all, I was a little over $2,700 into this car, and I sold it right under 5 grand. So I profited almost $2,300. That's nearly doubling my money on extremely minimal work. I did take it through DEQ. It did pass with no issues. It had no lights on the dash. It ran really, really well. Body was a little bit rough, but I cleared almost 2,300 bucks for, I don't know, an hour's worth of work, 2 hours worth of work that I put into that car. Very well worth it. So if you guys aren't flipping cars yet, make sure you do flip cars. But make sure you do it legally. Find out what the laws are in your state just so that you don't get in trouble flipping cars. Do it the legal way. And if you guys aren't a subscriber yet, I do flip a lot of cars. Make sure you consider subscribing. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in another video.